Today I'm going to teach you how to perform dumbbell shoulder press correctly so that you effectively load your shoulder muscles without risking injury to your shoulder joints. Now before we look at technique, we first need to check your overhead mobility. So here's the test. Stand with glutes squeezed, abs braced, and arms by your sides. Raise your arms overhead, leading with the thumbs. This test is a pass if you can raise the arms to a vertical position with a neutral spine and palms facing inwards. This test is a fail if you have to arch your back or turn the palms inward to get there. Okay, so if you have full unrestricted overhead mobility, you can perform your exercise with a vertical backrest. If not, don't worry. All you do is take that backrest down one notch. That is going to ensure that you do not compensate. It's going to keep you out of trouble because that is a major reason why shoulder injuries occur with this exercise. You also might find that your seat, like this one, doesn't even have a vertical option. That's fine too. So now we've talked about that, we can get into technique. Okay, starting with the setup, elbow angle. We want to be at a 45-degree angle to the torso. That is halfway between here and here. And we want the elbows as low as possible whilst ensuring that the wrist stays stacked above the elbow. So let me show you that from the side. Here and low, because we want to have maximum stretch on the shoulder before we start that press. So we want as low as possible, but we want that wrist to be stacked above the elbow. If we go too low, we're going to dump forward and be in a poor position. So think about driving that elbow forward, pulling it down, being nice and stacked at a 45-degree angle relative to the torso. That is a very strong position, it's very stable, and we have maximum stretch on the shoulder before we press. So that's the shoulder position. Now we need to talk about torso. Guiding principle here, we want the rib cage stacked over the pelvis. Okay, so if this hand represents my rib cage, and if this hand represents the position of my pelvis, we want that to be nice and stacked. So we have good core stability and we're nice and stable to promote efficient movement through the shoulder. So we've got to think that back needs to be flush with the bench. If there's any space, then we're too arched. So we want the back flush with the bench and we want ribs down to make sure we're connected. Notice my head is off the bench. If I try to keep it on, I'm going to be pulled into this open scissor posture. So we want to be connected, we want to brace, and we also now need to think about pushing through the feet because we need stability through the legs and up the chain. Okay, so elbows 45 low, wrist stacked above the elbow, abs braced, ribs stacked over pelvis, push through the feet. That is the setup. Moving on to execution. To get the arms overhead, we're going to think about driving through the elbows, pushing up and back to lock the elbows. And in this position, we should have a nice vertical stack between the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder. So I'll show you that again. We're going to drive through the elbows, push up and back to get that nice vertical stack. We're keeping the ribs down, we're keeping the low back flush so that the movement occurs purely through the shoulder. Also notice the wrist stays neutral. You can see the outside of my wrist there. I didn't twist inwards, and we're going to talk about why that matters in common mistakes. So we've driven through the elbows, we've pushed up and back, we're vertically stacked. Now we need to get back to position A. The way we're going to do this is we're going to be active on the negative. That means we're going to pull the dumbbells down, driving the elbows and the shoulders down as if doing a pull down or a pull up. Okay, we've got to be active on the negative. That's going to make sure that the scapula comes down into a good position. We don't dump the shoulders forward. That will happen if you let gravity do the work. So we've got to be active on the negative. Engage those lats, then we're locked and loaded to go again. Now we've talked about that, let me put all those steps into action with a real-time demo. All right, I've got two 25-kilo dumbbells. I'm going to do 5 reps. Watch the tempo, pay attention to breathing, and see all those steps put together. Okay, hopefully you saw there how that all looks with those steps combined. You saw that big stretch in the start position, complete shortening of the shoulder, complete overhead position achieved, controlled tempo, breathing in through the nose on the way down, out through the mouth on the way up, keeping the abs braced. That's how it's done. And so next, let's talk about some of the common mistakes, because even if you follow all those tips, you might still run into some challenges. We'll address those now. Mistake number one is twisting the dumbbells inwards. I know you're going to see most people do this at the gym, but here's why it's an issue. When we internally rotate the shoulder, we can pull the scapula into a poor position, which can impinge tissues in that subacromial space. If, however, we maintain a more neutral grip and we get external rotation at the shoulder, well, now we do a better job of engaging muscles like serratus anterior, lower traps, which keeps the scapula well positioned so that the joint is not stressed and we keep tension firmly on the muscles we're trying to target. So try to maintain that neutral grip or that semi-supinated grip as you press. That way you're going to stay out of trouble. You knew this was coming. Flared elbows. I know you're going to see a lot of bodybuilders do this, and here's why it's an issue. When we have the arms out to the side like that, we have a weak line of pull for the lats. The rotator cuff is at end range, so it does not have a good ability to stabilize the shoulder joints. And that way you're a little bit vulnerable out there, and you're also moving through a very reduced range of motion. Look at that compared to this. Look at the amount of stretch and the amount of movement of the upper arm through this plane compared to out here. So this is a bit vulnerable on the shoulder and it's a shorter range of motion. This is very safe through that scapular plane, much better for shoulder function and a much more complete range of motion. Yes, it's going to be harder, but you're going to get better gains. Next is lifting the chest, arching the back. There's a few reasons why this happens. One is that you don't have access to full overhead mobility, so you have to compensate by lifting the chest, in which case make sure that the bench is a notch down or two so you don't compensate. Another reason is just not engaging the core, not being aware that we want ribs down, that we want to be connected through the torso. Okay, so awareness could be the issue. The other issue is the body's always trying to find the path of least resistance. And by squaring the chest up to the ceiling, we can get stronger muscles involved, like the upper pecs. So again, that is going to be easier and stronger, but it's not going to do the best job of working the shoulder. So ribs down, stay connected. Now we find that path of most resistance. You're going to feel your shoulder working a lot harder. Before we wrap this video up, I want to leave you with 3 quick tips. Number 1, favor higher rep sets with less weight. Reason being, the vertical press is the most challenging position for shoulder stability. And if the shoulder is unstable under load, that's when you're at risk of injury. So the risk reward isn't worth it unless you're very strong, very competent. So I would recommend sticking with lighter weights and higher rep sets. And on that note, number 2, never fail a rep. We don't need to go to failure anyway to build muscle and strength. But again, it's kind of like the upper body equivalent of hip hinging. The risk reward isn't there. So keep a couple of reps in the tank to keep you safe. And lastly, explore other shoulder press variations. We can do single arm, alternating arm, but also get off the bench, use your own body to stabilize with standing, tall kneeling, half kneeling, different positions, different implements. It's very, very important for your long-term shoulder health and function that you are exploring different exercises within that vertical pressing movement pattern. And that way you're going to build your muscle and strength and keep your joints healthy. Really hope you enjoyed that video, hope it was valuable. If it was, please give it a like, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next one.